Hey, what's going on, guys? My name's TCG here, and today I'm going to be profiling it played in Worlds, but it's more of a fun, entertaining deck that I want to try and test. Now, one problem is I don't have all the cards for it, so I printed out a bunch of proxies, and I apologize for that, but I'll still explain what the cards are, and they're proxies, so you should know what they are. And that deck is Chandelure Firebox. Now, the main preface of the deck is attacking with Chandelure, so of course, these are our only 4 basics, is Litwick with Find a Friend, search your deck for a fire Pokemon, and put it into your hand. So, of course, playing Chandelure, we have to play the Litwick, but that's not the case with everything else we play. Now, there's a certain card we play to evolve into our Chandelure, so we actually don't play Rare Candy. We play 4 Lampent with Fireworks, discard an energy card from this Pokemon for 40 damage. Next, we play our main attacker in the deck, Chandelure. And Chandelure has the attack Spirit Burner. Discard the top 5 cards of your deck. This attack does 60 more damage for each Pokemon that you discarded in this way. Then put any number of fire Pokemon you discarded in this way on your bench. Sorry, I'm not too familiar with the card. I know the premise of the deck, I just didn't know the wording. So the main idea of this deck is you're playing a bunch of fire Pokemon, so you can discard them and put them onto your bench. So our other main attacker that we want to discard is Charizard. Charizard has the ability Roaring Resolve. You can put 2 damage counters on Charizard and search your deck for 2 fire energy. And once you have the 2 fire energy on him, you can use Continuous Blaze Ball for 130, or it does 30 plus 50 for each fire energy you discard. And normally you're just going to be discarding the 2 you discard, or if you attach return as well, you're doing 130 plus the other 50. So it's going to be 180 damage. Next, we play 2 Delphox. The only important thing about this is the ability Mystical Torch. Once during your turn before you attack, you may leave your opponent's active burned. So that's just an extra way of doing damage. So it's essentially you're doing 20 more. And then talking about doing extra damage, we play 2 Incineroar. And the only important thing is the ability Strong Cheer. Your attacks do 30 more damage, essentially, and you can't stack them. Just an easier way of considering that whole paragraph. Now, next we play 2 Blaziken, and we mainly use it for the Fire Starter. Once during your turn before you attack, you may attach a Fire Energy from your discard pile to one of your bench Pokemon. So just a way of powering up some Chandelure or Charizard if you discard Fire Energy with your attack when you discard. And then our last Pokemon you play is Macargo, and you use this as well just for the ability. Once during your turn before you attack, you may search your deck for a card and put it on top of your deck. So the way I look at using Macargo is essentially searching your deck for a fire Pokemon you want to put on top of your deck, and then you'll be guaranteed to discard it with Chandelure. And that wraps up all of our Pokemon. Next, we play 4 Bills Analysis. And Bills says, look at the top 7 cards of your deck, and you may reveal 2 trainer cards you find there and put them into your hand. Now, I actually don't have Bills, so those are all just proxies for Bills. And going on to our next supporter. Our best turn 1 supporter, 9 times out of 10, is going to be Green's Exploration. You can only play this card if you have no abilities in play, so it's not fairly good after you start attacking because a lot of your Pokemon have abilities. But it says search your deck for 2 trainer cards, reveal them, and put them into your hand. Oh, messing everything up. And then for our last supporter, we're going to be wanting to cycle our attack a lot because we're going to be discarding a lot of our deck. So we play 4 Brock's Grit. And Brock says shuffle in 6 of any combination of Pokemon and energy from your discard pile back into your deck. So that's a way of discarding Pokemon you don't want on your bench, but you still want to do some damage. You can just shuffle them right back into your deck. Going on to our trainers, we play 4 Pokemon Communication. Reveal a Pokemon from your hand and put it into your deck. If you do, search your deck for Pokemon and reveal it. So just the way, say if we want to discard the Charizard, but we have a Charizard in our hand, we can Pokemon Communication it back into your deck, and you can just fail the search. So you automatically have one more Pokemon in your deck that you might be able to discard. Next, the way we evolve, we're able to get Chandelure out turn 2, even though we don't play Rare Candy, through Duskstone. Now, Duskstone is super important for attacking to get off turn 2, because it pretty much allows you to skip a stage. Alright, Duskstone says, search your deck for a Mismagius, Honchkrow, Chandelure, or Aegislash, including Pokemon GX, that evolve from one of your bench Pokemon to play, and put it onto that Pokemon to evolve it. Then shuffle your deck. You can use this card during your first turn or on a Pokemon that was put in play during this turn. So what we want to do essentially is evolve for a turn into Lampent and then immediately Duskstone. So we'll have Chandelure out turn 1. Now, one main problem with this deck, just in general, is getting bench Pokemon out early on, because you can start one Lampent and pretty much just get donked if you don't have a Greens or a Bills and you hit a Pokemon Communication to get another Lampent. So the way we want to get to those supporters faster is through Pokegear, and we play 4. And it's look at the top 7 cards of your deck, and if you find a supporter there, you can grab it and put it into your hand. And that concludes all of our trainer cards, or not trainer cards, but our item cards. And next we play 3. These, I know it says Scorched Earth, but they're Giant Hearth proxies. And what Giant Hearth does is discard a card from your hand. If you do, search your deck for 2 fire energy and put them into your hand. Now, that's just a way of being able to find fire energy from your deck, since we only play a smaller amount than usual. And just ways of helping power up maybe are if we're attacking with Blaziken or Charizard, or even Chandelure if we need a second energy for some reason. And wrapping up the deck, we play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 fire energy. Now that's a smaller amount because we can still have ways of getting it back with Blaziken and Brox. And this is, like I said, not the most competitive deck. The man that played it, I don't have his name on record, but he finished in like the bottom 20 people, so it's not the most competitive deck. I could see problems with against Pikarom not being able to block. Pikarom could take out 2 Pokemon since we're not playing Mew, but Charizard is good for hitting the tag team GXs and making sure that you're taking 2 knockouts just instead of, or I'm sorry, not taking 2 knockouts, but taking like 3 prizers, like taking out tag teams, just because of how high the damage can get with his attack. And another Pokemon that I saw in here that I didn't really like, but I could understand, it was Infernape. And what Infernape said was, if your active Pokemon is burned, instead of taking 2 damage counters, you took 6. Now, the problem I didn't like with that is you have to have both Delphox and Infernape in play for that effect to be useful, which I didn't like the idea of devoting 2 bench Pokemon to make one effect happen. And so I switched out the Infernape with Magcargo, so that way I can guarantee a Pokemon I want to hit if I do hit the Magcargo. And that way, after a while, I can start to steamroll attackers, so I know I'm hitting guaranteed damage and not have the chance of discarding all 4 Brock script per se. And now, that's gonna do it for today's video, guys. I've been having trouble thinking more decks to play, so I'm starting to look at tournament results and looking at decks that are mainstream, but they're not tier 1 and tier 2s like my Reshizards or Pikaroms or Blacephalon. So I've been going back and looking at some more lower tier decks that I think are a lot of fun to play or interest me. And I'm probably going to be using the proxies a lot because it makes it easier to make the decks and not have to get all the cards. So, and I have a tournament coming up this weekend that there's a deck I'm thinking about playing. I'm going to borrow from my friend. And that I've tested the deck and I enjoyed it a lot. Alright guys, that's going to do it for today. I'll talk to you guys later. Remember to like and subscribe. Thank you.